Battle of Britain. England versus Scotland. Liverpool versus Rangers. Call it what you want. Rangers need to win this game, or at the very least not lose it. Welcome back, guys. Son of Scotland TV. Feels weird at the weekend. My team, Hearts, playing Rangers, obviously. Want Hearts to win, so I'm against Rangers. And then 3 days later, Rangers are in Europe. Obviously, I always support the Scottish team, so I went from being against Rangers on Saturday, against Rangers on Saturday, to supporting them on Tuesday. So, yeah, that feels a bit weird, but regardless, let's get into the preview here. So we are going into match day 3 for the Champions League. It's not been a good Champions League campaign so far for Rangers. I mean, you could argue it's not been a good season for Rangers. Yeah, they're coming off. I know they beat Hearts 4-0, blah, 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 blah. But overall, right, they haven't really been that good. None of the players are firing on all cylinders, apart from Čolak. I mean, you take away Čolak's goals this season, and I think Rangers would be in a lot of trouble. They've been less than convincing in a lot of their wins in the SPFL as well. But when you look at it, I mean, I guess they're only 2 points behind Celtic in the league. So, yeah, I guess their domestic start isn't that bad. I mean, they're in a better position domestically than Liverpool are, that is for sure. Liverpool have been very bad as well. And for me, I think the whole Liverpool squad, it just shows signs of aging. I think the board have done a bad job over the years. They haven't really, kept the squad going. They've just used the same kind of squad, the same midfield. And yeah, there's been big signings over the years, but they haven't been regularly, adding improvements and, oh, he's getting older, we'll bring this guy in. They just seem to, splash big money. But, I mean, when you've got a midfield combining of, Milner, Henderson and Harvey Elliott, I don't see why Rangers can't go and think that they can get something out of that, because that midfield isn't very good. But, I mean, like I said, Rangers midfield, is that very good? I mean, how many of Rangers midfielders are playing well at the moment? Probably answer 0. I don't think Jack's playing well. I don't think Lundstrom's playing well. Kamara's been pretty terrible. So, yeah, no, I mean, you could argue that Rangers midfield is pretty poor as well. But at least Liverpool have 3 points. They go into this with 1 win, 1 defeat. It was a win. It was late on against Ajax. They left it very late. They were very lucky as well. So they could easily be going into this game with 1 point. And then, not only is it a game where Rangers must get a result, it would have been a game where Liverpool would need to get a result. But Liverpool are sort of in the situation now where win, lose or draw, even though if they did lose, they would hit the panic button. But if they lost this game, they wouldn't exactly be out of it. As for Rangers, 0 points out of a possible 6. Now, I know sometimes you can go through in groups with lesser points. I mean, look at last season, Rangers Europa League group. I believe they went through in second place with 7 points. It can happen. But realistically, more often than not, you need around 10 points to get out of the group, and that normally gets you second place. For Rangers to get 10 points, they're going to have to go unbeaten for the rest of the 4 games. They're going to have to pick up 3 wins and get a draw. So it's against Rangers. The odds are against them. I don't see them getting through. I said at the start of this group, I didn't think Rangers would get a point. I said that. I'm going to stick by that. I don't know. It depends. Rangers could get better. Liverpool aren't in a good situation at the moment, and if Rangers are going to pick up a point somewhere, I do think it is going to be against Liverpool, even though that's more likely to be at Ibrox. But I'm not convinced that Liverpool are going to whoop Rangers here and pick up 6 points. But in terms of team news, Scotland captain Andy Robertson is likely to be absent again, which is no big loss. I mean, the guy's shite, right? He's a poor man's Kieran Tierney. I always said Kieran Tierney was better. I think Kieran Tierney's proven it now. Former Aberdeen player Calvin Ramsey's been training with the squad. Could you imagine if Calvin Ramsey started this game? I don't think it will happen, but I mean, Calvin Ramsey, he'd probably think he's back in the Scottish Premiership, but in reality, he'd be playing in the Champions League. That would be insane. Tom Lawrence, not expected to be back for Rangers. Unfortunately, James Sands is suspended, obviously, after getting sent off against Napoli. Ben Davies should be available, but I mean, he got took off at half-time against Hearts. Does Gio even trust this guy? Is he fully fit? I don't know. In terms of who they're going to play, though, I think I would go with Morelos up front. I know Čolak's been scoring goals, but for me, Rangers did play a lot better against Napoli, and I'm not saying it was solely because of Morelos, but I just think Morelos overall is a better player. I mean, Cholak is probably the better finisher, and if you create chances for him, I'd say he's more likely to score them than Morelos, but I think Morelos makes things happen. I think Morelos, far better all-round player, and I believe Morelos has got like individual moments of brilliance. I believe that Morelos could do things that could change the game. I believe Morelos could create moments and chances for himself, whereas to me, I don't really see Cholak doing that, especially against top opposition. I think Cholak needs the ball for him on a plate. I'm not saying he's like retarded or anything like that. I'm not saying he's not capable, of taking on a defender. But for me, for Morelos can make stuff happen, whereas Cholak kind of needs you to help him make stuff happen. So I would personally go with Morelos, but I mean, Cholak's scoring all the goals. So if you want to go with Cholak, that's totally up to Gio. I mean, it could probably come under criticism if he goes with Morelos. It depends. But if he goes with Cholak and they play shit, then he'll come under criticism for not picking Morelos. So, I mean, Gio can't... The only way Gio can win is if he gets a result for the game. Either way, if he doesn't, then he's going to come under criticism. But talking to Gio, what did he say? He said, quote, "It's a big opportunity for everyone. In the Champions League, you play against the best players, and that is a motivation for the whole team. And me as a coach, they are at home, had a bad result in the first game, but the pressure's always on both teams. They are used to performing at this level, but it's a huge step for us. We embrace the challenge. It's a hard place to come, but we still believe it is possible." End of quote. I haven't been that impressed, by the way, with some of Gio's comments. It sounds like in previous games, he's basically kind of ruled out the Champions League. He just kind of says, well, look, these teams have more money than us. They can afford higher wages. They can afford to buy better players, and therefore we can't compete. And that, I think that's it's a very negative, it's a very negative mindset to have. Now, I do take what he's saying into consideration. I get that. But at the same time, it's not like this is a league format where over 38 games, the best teams will come out on top. It's a 6-game group stage, right? You've got 3 games at home. I don't see why Rangers can't be competing to try and, get out of this. Honestly, I don't. It's 6 games. Anything can happen. For me, if it's 38 games, if you put Rangers in the Premier League this season, even though Liverpool's doing bad, but over 38 games, are Rangers going to finish ahead of Liverpool? No. But can they do it over 6 games? I think they could. I think they could, but Gio's pretty much ruled that out, and I think anything but a Rangers. A draw keeps them in it, but realistically, guys, they need a win here. If they're going to have any hopes of going through, they need to win this game. As for my prediction for the game, what am I going to predict? Well, I did say Rangers when they pick up a point in this entire Champions League campaign. I said they would finish last. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with that, but I do think Liverpool will win this match. I'm going to go Liverpool 3, Rangers 1. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Rangers win. I hope Rangers batter them. I hope Rangers beat them so bad that fucking Jurgen Klopp quits at half-time. The German prick. But I don't think it's going to happen. I do think Liverpool will get the win. But we'll see come tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Should be a good game. I do feel like these games are always special when it's an English team taking on a Scottish team, especially when it's competitive in the Champions League. And again, looking forward to this one. So should be a good match. We'll be back tomorrow to review it. Let me know your predictions down below. What do you think the score's going to be? Do you give Rangers a chance? Do you think Rangers might even go on and win? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, if Rangers do win, I'm pretty sure, you talk about the bad results they've had, losing to Celtic, losing to Napoli, losing to Ajax. If Rangers can go out and defeat Liverpool at Anfield and get 3 points on the board, I'm pretty sure the bad start to the season will well and truly be forgotten about. And there's a real chance for a Rangers player to make themselves a hero tomorrow. I know a lot of them have come under criticism. I know pretty much the entire team has come under criticism. Could you imagine? I mean, John McLaughlin, I don't think he's going to start tomorrow. Imagine if Rangers win and like McGregor keeps a clean sheet. I mean, that's John McLaughlin gone. That's him done. That's his position as number 1 fucked. At the same time, I mean, like someone like Kamara, who's not playing well, I don't think he'll start tomorrow, but imagine he comes on as a sub and he gets the winner or something like that. He could go from people criticising you to being a god in the space of 90 minutes. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Massive game. I'll be back for the review. Till then, peace.